You missed quite a scrap, gentlemen, and an opportunity to slay a monarch. There was a struggle and the prince was wounded.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon covering the battlefield. For any who still have doubts, this is no mundane mist, nor a petty fairground illusion. Most likely, we're up against a blood curse, an old and powerful spell. We do not know who cast it or why. For now, I have one piece of good news and several pieces of bad news. The good news is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time being.
And the bad news?
The mist will grow. It may even engulf Vergen. Furthermore, wraiths may emerge from it.
Can they be made penitent? With an axe to the head?
In theory, yes. But I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to drive it off? Exorcise it?
A question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Course he didn't. Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You'll see he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous. In addition, we need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burden.
At your service, milady.
Thank you. To lift the curse, we require some objects symbolic of the war. Ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pfft. More scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
Take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia, you know well...
How many?
We dwarves are near 200, but don't judge us by our number.
1,500 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5 to 1 against us. What think you of that?
We are few, they are many. But we have our walls, low though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria!
We have something better. Yorvith's elves. Scoia'tael. Gentlemen, I give you Yorvith.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers? Here they are. I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves. But even a shit-coated stick can be a weapon. He burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the Northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Yorvith came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that? He's an elf! Treason runs in his veins!
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years, his fight makes sense. The Scoia'tael know no peace. They've died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They've been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well led. They cannot be scared off or routed. They have to be killed. I want Yorveth to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadweni for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Yorveth stays.
Bloody hell! Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
Nay, you killed my men, Elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't killed them, they'd have killed me.
All right. For the sake of better times, and for Kedwen's doom, aye!
Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
Poison! She's dying. Take her somewhere safe and guard her with your lives. I'll gather what I need and join you soon.
I'll place my best warriors on watch.
Quickly, lads! A litter!
She ceased casting spells.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking, I've slowed her life functions as far as possible. Her condition is stable.
Do you know the poison?
Thaumadur, commonly known as Mage Pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use Letho right now.
The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed exceptional resistance and strength. As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
You'll have her drink human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
What kind of herbs are we talking about?
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the Immortelle, and an elven rose of remembrance.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the En-Shay, who succeeded in cultivating the roses, enjoyed great respect,
Times have changed.
as have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find. Where will we find Immortelles?
They grow deep beneath the earth, which should not be a problem as Vergen lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The Immortelle will help restore them.
What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thaumadur is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right, all right. Let's forget the rings. I need a vast quantity of the power, no matter the source. Find something.
An Immortelle, a rose of remembrance, royal blood and magic sounds like a fairy tale.
A poor one at that. No prince's kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable. May I count on your help, Geralt?
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle. Maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poisoner.
Only Philippa Eilhart may enter.
People of Vergen, we have a magical mist full of ghosts just outside our walls, so you'd better think twice before entering it. The mist, may the plague take it, threatens all manner of creatures, so anyone headed to the quarries or walking through the gullies should take exceptional heed. The squirrels that have made camp by the burnt huts are not our enemies, so says Saskia. So it is. Master Geralt of Rivia and Sorceress Philippa Eilhart will deal with the mist and the wraiths. And now, open the gates and get to work.
What's going on?
I'm Elias, of Yorveth's commando. I have an urgent matter.
Tell me.
Men from Vergen have been disappearing for some time. We recently found some of their corpses, so it doesn't seem to be desertion.
Only men among the victims?
Young men, humans and elves.
Where did you find the bodies?
In different places, mainly in the burned village near the ravine that leads to the town.
I need to see the corpses.
They're all buried.
Where?
Beneath a mound in the forest behind Vergen, but you shouldn't go there.
Why not?
Desecrating graves is a serious offense. The families of the dead will be furious.
What state were the bodies in?
They looked gruesome. Nothing an elf would have done, nor a human.
I don't work for free.
You'll get your reward. Do well, and I may give you something more than coin. We're losing good men.
I'll see what I can do.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
How can I help you?
I'm looking for places steeped in magic. You remember any stories of sorcerers or magical places in the area?
Not counting the fire-spitting bits from 3 years ago. Well, a sorcerer once lived in the wood beyond Vergen. You could look there. Maybe something's left. You might also speak to Cecil. Nobody knows Vergen's history as well as our alderman.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
How can I help you?
I'd like to play dice poker.
Fair enough, but I only play the best.
Well, I'll be plowed by a ferret.
Yeah. Witcher Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, you're a witcher like any other. But those swords, things of beauty.
Nothing special about them.
Ah, you're mistaken. Few know how to make a silver blade today, fish eat me if I'm lying, and engraving runes is not exactly farting down a rain spout. I wouldn't mind a closer look at your swords. Care to browse through my wares?
You play dice?
Aye, us two and the Smith's apprentice.
And that's it?
In Vergen, there's also the headman, Cecil Burden, and the innkeeper. But they won't play unless you prove your worth. Which you could by beating us.
Show me what you can do.
I'm first. I'd like a rematch.
Care to roll a few rounds? Give me a chance to win it back.
I wouldn't mind a closer look at your swords.
I'd like to play dice.
No, go. I'll play you once I know you've beaten the innkeeper and Cecil.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Aedirn?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Aedirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Aedirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwen hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact.
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg, so it appears to be true. If you want to know the details, talk to Biggerhorn. Apparently he witnessed it.
Have you heard about a Witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No, why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
A sorceress like you ought to know bundles about the Wild Hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The hunt's not a superstition.
True, the phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me.
I'm looking for Triss. Letho forced her to teleport near Vergen.
Letho?
Foltest's killer, perhaps Demavend's too. Will you help me find her?
Certainly. We sorceresses must stick together. We have too many enemies.
Triss contacted you through Sheila de Tanzerville's megascope while in Flotsam.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Can you locate her?
A megascope responds to a person's aura. If I had something of hers, I could find her. You were close to her. Maybe you have something.
No, I don't have anything.
Not good. Wait. A local drunkard claims he saw a redhead fall out of the sky. This could be a lead.
Drunkards say all sorts of nonsense. One claimed his dog was writing poetry.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As it's our only lead, I'll talk to this drunkard. Do you know him?
I'm not used to associating with drunkards, but you'll likely find him in the inn.
Thank you.
Come back as soon as you learn anything. You wanted to discuss something?
You said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this area has a long history. There's the Battle of Wraiths, the site of Sabrina Glevisig's death and suffering, the abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divining rod, but please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burden knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him. You wanted to discuss something?
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
But I can't look for them now.
I can do that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something. What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked Edirn, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glevisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led to both armies being routed. Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel. I'd say she did a good job, considering.
Know anything about blood curses?
Do you?
We're dealing with a 4th-level curse, also known as the Curse of the Archmistress.
Well, well, I'm impressed.
Thing is, until now I thought it was only a myth, that such a curse couldn't be cast.
You thought wrong. There are 6 confirmed cases of this curse being inflicted.
What about confirmed cases of it being lifted?
1. Achieved by a team of sorcerers led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, hence the curse's other name. Sabrina Glevisig was on the team.
Small world.
That's not all. The curse investigated by Francesca and Sabrina was designed to end the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. They were cursed by Scarlet Rodalega, a complete madman, but very talented. An eclipse and wraiths also accompanied his curse.
So Sabrina's curse is just a knockoff Rodalega?
Exactly.
Can Francesca's experience help us?
Certainly. I know the symbols and the workings of the curse thanks to her.
Care to explain? I'm the one risking my neck.
You'll have to relive the battle and change its course at the right moment. I don't know exactly what will happen. Nobody does.
I'll look for those artifacts. Did you notice? Not all the ghosts were aggressive.
Yes. Most just disappeared when they touched the aura of a living person.
I think the curse corrupts the ghosts of the fallen and turns them into draugrs.
Is that the Witcher's professional name for wraiths?
Draugrs are demons of war. They arise at sites of exceptionally vicious, bloody battles. Their bloodlust and hatred in condensed form.
Can you kill them by conventional means?
A silver sword is enough for a draugr, but as long as the curse remains active, new ones will arise. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If I could turn the tide of the battle...
For that you'll need symbols of war belonging to those who fell in battle. Hatred, death, courage, and faith. All artifacts must be magically active and connected to the fallen, or they won't lure the ghosts.
Right. I'll look around.
Finding 2 will be enough. Get the symbols of hatred and death and leave the rest to me.
I'd prefer courage and faith.
Don't fuss.
I'll see what I can do. Cecil seems to know a lot about the area. I'm good for now. I'll let you know when I learn something. Who are you?
I'm Cynthia, a mage in training. Philippa is my mentor.
My condolences.
No need for that. True, she's a demanding mistress, but she can also be charming. Besides, she's the best there is, Witcher. She has no equals, excepting perhaps the old elven sorceresses. You should see her cast spells. Light and graceful she is, not like that old tart de Tanzaville.
Just out of curiosity, how much does a magic course cost these days?
I'm certain you can't afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a garden full of flowers, fruit trees, and young elves of both sexes copulating merrily all the day. And the illusion is complete. The flowers have an aroma. The fruit and she-elves are juicy.
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly see it. Professional curiosity.
Naturally. But I doubt Philippa's in the mood for complicated illusions. She focuses all her efforts on Saskia.
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. I've seen all the great sorceresses at work. Sheila's quite manly in her style. Precise, logical, exceptionally composed. But she lacks grace and suppleness.
Is that your opinion? Or are you just repeating what Philippa says?
We agree in our assessment. Triss Merigold, on the other hand, is talented. But she lacks determination, courage, and a certain cold willfulness that seems necessary.
That's interesting.
Kira Metz and Margarita Lo Antiel are both blasé, seemingly resigned. One's a hedonist and nymphomaniac, the other cares only about her school. They lost enthusiasm for magic long ago. Then there's Francesca Finderbear. Nobody really knows what the old she-elf is capable of, but she's clearly very powerful.
I take it Philippa has none of these flaws, but she must have some weakness.
Ambition. Infinite, boundless, and burning like the Korath Desert.
Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
Let me tell you about the woman.
I heard you saw something interesting.
As clearly as I see you. Amazing. I look into the sky. But wait, you must buy a fellow a drink for such a story.
Well, you shut it already. We could all recite this bullshit now.
I'm a client and I'll say what I want. Pour me some Mahakaman mead and no cheating. This noble wayfarer will pay.
I'm a little short right now.
I think
Let me
fella.
I heard you saw something interesting.
As clearly as I see you. But wait,
Well, you shut it already.
I'm a client and
I'll pay, but if you bore me, I'll shove this meat up your ass.
There's such a fine liquor. And my ass has no taste. You won't regret it.
Speak.
Last week I was passing by the gullies. I like to take a hike from time to time.
Get to the point.
Hush. So I'm walking and suddenly there's a flash, a crack. I'm thinking, a storm's coming. But nary a cloud in the sky.
You hit the ground with your arse so hard you saw a flash. You were that drunk.
Then I saw people lying in a gully as if they'd fallen from the sky, a man and a woman. The woman was so beautiful, I wished she'd fallen down on me.
What did the woman look like?
A redhead, wearing a vest and high shoes, with pert tits and a round arse. Just waiting to be grabbed and...
Sounds just like your old lady.
Shut your mouth!
What happened then?
Well, the woman was hurting, couldn't get up. The man clearly disliked her, because he didn't help her. He just stood there, menacing and talking, and then he left. And the redhead stayed.
Noticed her tits, but didn't even try to help her, you sod.
I was about to do exactly that when a troll came out of the gully, ugly as shit after blueberries.
Did it attack her?
Not at all. I hid and saw everything. First he sniffed her, so I thought he'd eat her. But he didn't. He threw her over his shoulder like a sack and returned to the gullies.
Is that all?
Yes. Didn't waste your money, as you'll agree.
Don't try anything.
My pensacles intrigue you?
Indeed. I'd like to see them up close.
Let's start with introductions then. I'm Felicia Corey, and you're Geralt of Rivia. Why the surprised face? I heard about you in school. Whether you like it or not, you're a hero of contemporary history, and of the love stories we read beneath our blankets.
You studied at Aretusa?
Yes, though I'm still to finish my potion and fetish internship, which is why I'm here.
And you're doing it under Philippa Eilhart's watchful eye. Any way I can help you?
Help from a hero of our readings? Now that's drawing on sources for real. I'd be grateful. The locals are reluctant to buy magic items, and I really need to pass.
Let's see what I can do.
Geralt, sit down. We haven't yet celebrated your raid into the mist. Sorry. Where are my manners? Sheldon Skaggs, veteran of the battles of Sodden and Brenna.
And all inns along the way.
You've already met Svergen's elder?
Greetings. Gentlemen, not sure about you, but my throat's parched from all these greetings.
Funny. Those were the first words out of your mouth.
Master Dandelion's right. Around for everyone! On me!
I'd gladly drink, but Saskia was poisoned and time is of the essence.
How can we help? Speak!
Have you ever heard of a plant called the Dwarven Immortelle?
Have we? The pigs have tight arses.
To tell the truth, I've no idea, Skaggs.
That's just a saying.
You're the only one using it.
Witcher, the Immortelle. It appears most often near anthracite and aluminosilicate deposits.
Philippa needs it to heal Saskia.
A rare curio, but there's a mine nearby, and who knows? You might find it deep underground.
Is the mine far?
Not at all. It's in Verger itself, in the town's upper quarter.
You're eager for this expedition, but nobody told the Witcher that the mine's closed.
Closed, that's true. But it's long overdue a cleaning. Weed out all the underground shit.
What are you talking about?
Not a month ago, miners started disappearing. Must have tapped the wrong vein and woken some scum from the deep. We wanted to send a crew of stout fellows in, but Saskia said she needs all the soldiers she can find up top, ready to defend the town. We closed the shaft, fearing the filth would emerge and overrun us all.
Looks like we arrived just in time, eh, Geralt?
So it seems. Let's go.
Right on. With this crew, we needn't fear any monster. How about you, Sheldon? You coming with us, or staying around to get your fuck?
Another chance like this won't come around in a hurry. Fucking can wait. I'm with you.
Let's meet at the mine's entrance.
Good thing you're here, Geralt. A rhyme for wonder?
I'm no poet.
I know, but you have good ideas sometimes.
Yonder?
Good!
Writing a sonnet for your new muse?
Better than that. I'm composing an anthem for Vergen. Want to hear the first version?
No.
Listen. May those who dream of freedom arise, seeing the sight of liberty with their eyes. Let us go together, become our brother. The choice is yours, you know there's no other. How far shall we venture in this great wonder? Elf, dwarf, and human set forth together yonder. Like it?
It rhymes, kind of.
All right then, tell me what you discovered.
Is it my imagination, or have you become a propaganda mouthpiece for the court?
You know what I really like about this place? There is no court. People are with Saskia because they want to be, not because they have to or should be.
You have a tendency to go from one extreme to the other.
And you have a tendency to shit on every ideal, even the most noble.
I try to take an objective view of the world.
Yet you've joined us. You have, haven't you?
I'm on Vergen's side, at this time.
Don't want to commit, eh? Well, Vergen isn't some whore you can just screw and forget.
You're right. Once you're on a teetering bridge, you might as well cross it.
Finally, spoken like a man. Oh, sorry, that was racist. Wise words, Witcher.
Yorvith seems to have changed.
Everyone changes here. Except you, of course.
I'm not sure I like changes of that kind. I find them hard to believe.
You're an idiot. Saskia's giving Yorvith a chance. If he uses it well, he'll finally be able to emerge from that hole in the ground he's been living in for years. That's the least of it. If he plays his cards right, he can win everyone's respect. People only remember what they want to remember.
I suppose you're right. A free state in the Pontar Valley could turn Yorvith from a brigand into a knight.
Which is why it's useless to wonder why he's changed. I wouldn't trust him with my child. But who knows what he'll become?
My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have two women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I believe I'll find Triss, alive.
And Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her. My memory's coming back. It's just bits and pieces so far, but I can feel them coming together, forming a whole.
What have you remembered?
A voyage, an endless trek south. I was following Yennefer and the Wild Hunt. I have no idea how long. It got cold. Only old people were left in the villages I passed through, but they all refused to tell me what had happened to the young, to their children. I finally pressed a man for information. He blamed it on wolf packs, on an outburst of drowners and rot fiends. No one mentioned the Wild Hunt.
Did you catch up to the hunt?
I don't know.
Got anything you can follow?
I'm looking. You once mentioned some elven poems about the hunt.
I believe I said they could exist, and they'd be old. I don't know any, but look around. You're pretty good at finding things.
One thing's for sure. Letho's not on this side of the fog.
If you wanted to pursue the assassin, you should have gone to Henselt's camp with Roach.
Just because I went after Triss doesn't mean I've forgotten about Letho.
Why do you care so much? It's not your coop or your chickens.
My reputation's a little more important than hens in a coop. Until I find Letho, I'll be considered a murderer.
No one thinks you're a Kingslayer here.
You're dead wrong. They treat me well because they need me. That could change in an instant.
You're probably right. Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'll decide once I've heard him out, learned the truth. Maybe I'll see his point, or maybe I'll just cut off his head.
Now refuse to shovel manure.
heard of you. How can I help you?
I'd like to play dice poker.
So, shall we play now? You won.
I'll take my coin, please.
You're too good for me. Try the head man, Cecil Burden.
Might do just that.
The Witcher's on board. We can go.
Let's get to work, my bearded friends.
Open the shaft, Skags. If you kill off those monsters, the whole of Vergum will be grateful. I'm sure some coin would be found.
We'll keep that in mind, Cecil. So, Sheldon, you opened the shaft yet?
Keep your pricks in your trousers. You can't just plough forward all the time. A mind is like a lover. You need to be gentle, so she accepts you moist and hot.
You and your music, Sheldon. I think I heard something. Come on!
Damn carrier. That was close.
What was that?
Necrophages. With this many appearing, they must have a nest nearby.
Come on! Show yourselves! I'll let you taste my axe!
Oh, you're making them dead.
Monsters. Shit, you stink.
should do it. The miners tried to collapse this passage. I wonder what's down below.
Maybe some shit-filled necrophage cesspit. Behind the corpse, the dragon down there.
Hey, gentlemen, let's focus on finding a dwarven immortal, please.
No time for idle chatter. I wouldn't mind a drink about now. Smell that? Did you break wind? Oh, if I had, you'd be begging me to kill you. This place stinks of rotting corpses.
I can hear them. Things could get hot.
Let's grab what we need and get out of here. No time for idle chatter. Would you be kind enough to move that arse of yours? Right, Geralt. Looks like it's all over.
Thanks for your help, Zoltan.
Say nothing of it. Enough yapping. Time for some vodka.
First, I want to see if my fuck date's still waiting.
Just don't strain yourself. It takes energy to drink with us too, you know.
Eva? Eh? That's a witcher, not a human.